Welcome to this episode of Junk Food on the Road, where today we are going to talk about
kitchens on the road.
kitchens on the road, cooking for yourself.
So this isn't as much going to be like, I mean, we'll have some discussion about specific locations, but I think this is just a general
Yeah.
thing.
Sort of like, I mean, when you're on the road, there's a few places where you can cook. If you're staying in a campsite, of course, there's the camp kitchens, or sometimes they have barbecues. There's apartment hotels, and there are youth hostels.
Mm-hmm.
And we are big fans of youth hostels. And in particular, youth hostel kitchens are a fantastic way to meet other travelers and, get the goods on, where they've been or what they're doing, or even just like, make a little single serving friend for the few days you're in that hostel.
Sometimes you also learn about local foods.
Yeah.
Because you'll get somebody who's cooking there. Remember that Japanese guy we met in the kitchen who went fishing?
Yep. And then we had like breakfast and dinner with him like every day we were in that hostel after that,
Yep.
which was pretty cool. And it was because he was talking to some Australian girls, because we were in Coffs Harbour, I think. And he couldn't find, they wanted to know what he was fishing for. And he kept saying the word in Japanese. And then, so I was standing there and I said, "Oh, that's horse mackerel." Because it's the only Japanese fish I actually know the name of, really, because I don't eat fish. But I went fishing for horse mackerel once in Japan. And yeah, so then he was like suddenly my best friend, and I got to brush up my Japanese because I was losing it. I'm always in a constant state of losing it, but yeah, and we made a good friend, and he shared some of his special tea with us, and we talked about Japanese food and stuff, and we shared sort of some of our own food culture, and he shared some of his, and it was pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. And I mean, we've had other experiences like that in other kitchens.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess the thing about staying in hostel kitchens as well as like camp kitchens to a degree. I mean, one of the coolest camp kitchens was the one we had at Sharks Bay with the emus.
That was in Monkey Maya.
Monkey Maya, that's what I meant. Is that in Sharks Bay?
I don't know. It was in Western Australia.
Yeah, so Monkey Maya, we stayed at the campgrounds there, and they have a really cool kitchen. And emus every once in a while sneak in.
It's a dad with his kids.
Yeah, so that was kind of fun. Allison has some fun videos she took once of the emus wandering past the kitchen.
Well, Chris was having a nap.
Yeah.
In our camper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's you get a lot of fun experiences like that.
Another really good experience we had in Australia was when we went to, it was a different trip, but we went to Uluru, and we stayed in this little cabin in this campground, and they had barbecues, and they had like a little store where you could go and buy a nice steak. They have great beef in Australia, and we got what did we do? We got Italian dressing to marinate it in. And then we went out into the barbecue and had a nice fresh steak barbecued out in the outback, and it was really cool.
The weird thing about Australian barbecues is they often consider just a warm grill top to be a barbecue. Remember, there was a couple times like that where we went to places and be like, "Oh no, this is."
That's the bar. Yeah, that's what that campground was like as well.
Yeah. So that's always kind of weird. You kind of have to, when you're
traveling.
traveling.
And again, camp kitchens is also a great place to talk to people. And see, I don't know. I'm an extrovert. Chris is an introvert, so he doesn't like talking to people, but I can't help myself.
Yeah, it's okay. It's good because then they get all the talk out of her, and so when we're traveling around, and I mean the good thing about kitchens too, be it any kind of kitchen, is just having breakfast, because nothing's worse than being hungry for breakfast and you're searching for a place to go.
Yeah.
And inevitably it's going to be McDonald's, which is fine.
But not every day.
But it's kind of like, it's nice just to have something simple like a bowl of cereal or something like that you have. Which I think, if I was to say one of the best advantages of having a kitchen is going shopping for groceries.
Yes. You get to see how the locals organize their groceries. You get to see what kind of produce they're getting and what they're doing with it, and maybe finding some mystery stuff and trying something out that maybe won't work because we've done it wrong, but who cares because we tried.
Kangaroo burgers we did because of that.
They were terrible.
Well, we found out that all the Australian prepackaged burgers, and I'm going to say that because maybe there are good burgers in Australia, but all of the prepackaged burgers we ever got at grocery stores were absolutely awful.
They were terrible.
But,
Kangaroo, beef, whatever,
didn't
buffalo,
matter.
they were all just terrible.
Yeah, so, but it's neat to sort of, and it's neat to be able to like go in there, and even for breakfast for me, it's like I can try a different cereal maybe that I've never tried before, yogurts, you can get a little yogurt, and often when you have a kitchen, one of the things it gives you is refrigeration. So if you can want to like buy, some yogurt or something like that, you can. You don't have to like eat it on the spot. And
remember when we were in New Zealand, we had granola for breakfast, and we would sit out on that porch watching the volcano erupting.
Yeah.
At the hostel.
Yeah, that's I think the volcano where they used for Mount Doom in Lord of the Rings movies.
Was it?
Yeah. So, yeah, there's all kinds of great advantages. I mean, what we find, we don't do all our meals. Like we'll generally have lunch out.
Yeah.
And then sometimes dinner.
Yeah. But it's nice to have a place where you can cook for yourself.
Yeah. And it gives you
and I'm just thinking San Francisco, the hostel there has like this beautiful kitchen.
Yeah.
But then remember York in England.
The family taking over the kitchen?
No, that was New Zealand.
Okay.
The whole youth group. It was a school trip or something, and there were group kitchens that you could rent for like, I don't know, $20 a day or something. But they chose to just take over the tiny little kitchen that everybody else had to use, and you couldn't put anything anywhere because they just had all their lunch bags all over the counters, like to store overnight. And it's like, if you're a group, get the group kitchen, please.
Yeah, it's true. I also remember, I think it was in Ottawa, we were staying at the university, and there was a bunch of people that kept
setting the kitchen on fire.
Yeah, every night the fire alarm would go off.
Yeah, we had a little microwave and a fridge in our sort of dorm room, but we couldn't cook anything because it was constantly, it was like, I think, traveling student group from somewhere, and they just didn't know what they were doing. They would take over the whole kitchen, and
the alarm would go off and they'd shut it down
all the time. So it's like, okay, well, we'll just get microwavable stuff while we're here.
Yeah.
But yeah, university dorms are also a really good place to stay. But not all of them have kitchens like that.
Yeah, that's true. I would say, I mean, the best is always apartment hotels.
Apartment hotels are pretty awesome.
Because you can kind of set yourself up a little better.
Yeah.
Like in the hostels, you're often like, you have to put everything away and hope that they have certain dishes.
And put your name on it and all that stuff. Yeah. Apartment hotels are awesome for that. Or what we did in Berlin, staying at Mark and Blake's house.
Yeah, if we stay friends' houses. Friends' houses are almost like apartment hotels.
Yeah.
So I mean.
Well, especially it's awesome hanging out with those guys, but they actually left us alone in their apartment for 3 days, and we took advantage of cooking some local food there.
You want to talk about that place?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it in some other stuff, but it was this grocery store that has just little tables. There's like 4 or 5 little tables in the grocery store. There's like 2 main dishes you can pick from. There's an appetizer and a couple of desserts or something. And each table has a recipe card and just the ingredients you need for 2 people, in like pre-packaged. So if you have 4 people, you can pick up 2 packages for 2 people things. So like if you need this much oil, like a tablespoon of oil, there you can get a little jar with a tablespoon of oil in it and a teaspoon of salt and just the right amount of vegetables and stuff. And then you buy the recipe card for something like 25 cents or something. And so you can pick up everything you need just at that station in the little store and then take it home and cook it. And we made this like white asparagus and beef stir fry thing that was like so nicely spiced and well done, and it was really cool.
The nice thing is you can take out ingredients if you don't want something. Like if you don't like onions on your hamburger and you get a hamburger there, you can just not get the onions. And
yeah, it's like totally.
And it's not totally made for you. It's not like it's like a pre-packaged meal. It's just the ingredients. So like you still have to cut the asparagus and the meat and everything. You just get a piece of meat and everything. So it's like you have to prep everything still. but it's just like you're only buying for that. I think nowadays, this was a while ago, I think nowadays a lot of those food service programs are that.
Yeah, I think maybe that's true.
So, but the nice thing about this is you get to go to a store, so it's not a question of like picking on a website. Like you can actually sort of see, and you can not get certain ingredients and you don't pay for them.
Yeah, like if you're doing it when you're at your own house and you have salt and you have oil and stuff, you can just go, well, I won't pick up that part. I'll just pick up sort of the main ingredients or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, that was. I've only seen that in Germany.
Yeah, it was a really nice experience.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, what's the best grocery store
In the world?
Maybe some memorable ones. I mean, Spar is always everywhere and generally pretty good.
Sure.
We've been to a couple of those in different European countries.
White Rose is pretty good. Waitrose.
Waitrose.
We've been there in England and Dubai.
Yeah.
Got good stuff.
A lot of British.
Macro?
Yeah. I find a lot of British grocery stores have a lot of pre-made stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get a lot of pre-made sandwiches and things like that. Like that's a big part of their thing. It depends on the culture. Like that's another interesting thing about grocery shopping is you sort of see how much of the culture is ingredient based and how much of it is like, pre-made. How much of the stuff is pre-made.
Yeah.
UK.
But I can't pick like any one grocery
store.
I mean, there was that grocery store in Bali where we found the coffee soda pop, and you talk about it, and we've lived in Asia, and I live even longer in Asia, and so you say that, and people go, oh yeah, canned coffee, and it's like, no, it's not canned coffee. It's actually like Coca-Cola, but the liquid is coffee. It's carbonated coffee. It's so weird.
It is.
And I think it had sugar in it too.
Yeah.
Everything does.
But that was, a definitely unique grocery store shopping experience.
Yeah. And it also had the poop coffee because we were in Indonesia.
Yeah, and I got a poop chocolate bar.
That's right, you did. I forgot about your poop chocolate bar.
Read that review on candycritic.org.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Yeah. And then there was we had a flight canceled once in Australia, and they put us up in an apartment hotel, and it was one of the best dinners we had.
Yeah.
I don't remember where near the airport you can find a grocery store, but we managed to.
I think we went downtown actually,
Did we?
We did go downtown at around that time, because I remember wandering downtown because it was Christmas.
We had a bonus day in Sydney.
Yeah. So I think we might have just gone shopping downtown.
Oh, maybe we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anything else you can think of?
I can't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for listening to another episode of Junk Food on the Road. As always, you can follow us on Twitter @CandyCritic, or go to candycritic.org and find links to all the other social media, including Instagram and Twitter and Twitter's @CandyCritic. Facebook, you can find links to that. You can also go to the Patreon page, patreon.com/CandyCritic, and there you get all kinds of bonus stuff, including get these a week before they come out.
And I've just learned you're also on TikTok.
I'm on TikTok. You can go to candycritic.org and find links to that.
I just found that out.
You can also go to check out my books, Snack Facts and Treats and Beasts, also available on candycritic.org. So make sure to pick those up. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.